Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all. RT, the Russian state news organization, the federal intelligence officials call the Kremlin's principal international propaganda outlet. RT America TV broadcasts negative programs, derogatory information about the United States. It's essential information warfare directed against the United States, according to the unclassified intelligence report released on the 2016 elections. The Kremlin staffs RT and closely supervises RT's coverage, recruiting people who can convey Russian strategic messaging. Additionally, the Kremlin spends $190 million a year on the distribution and dissemination of RT programming. Can you all answer, do any of your organizations allow RT to purchase space or advertise on your accounts?
We've offboarded, which means we've banned Russia Today and their related accounts from advertising on the Twitter platform.
That's effective as of when?
That was effective as of a week or so ago.
We have reviewed the RT accounts, and as you know, RT advertises extensively in newspapers, magazines, airports across the United States. We've not found violations of our accounts, but we are focused on making sure that there's enhanced transparency with regard to government-funded broadcasting of all kinds, whether that's RT or Al Jazeera or other sources.
Mr. Stretch?
The same is true for Facebook, Senator.
Well, it says here that RT uses Google's, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter as the main distributors of their content. So you all have been the main go-to to get their propaganda out to the United States to do harm to us.
That may be true online, Senator, but of course RT is covered by, RT channels are included on major cable television networks, satellite television networks, hotel television choices, et cetera. So it is a problem that goes beyond the web.
Let me ask this question, if I may. Kaspersky Labs, their antivirus software, do any of you all have it on your personal computers? Your personal computers are using Kaspersky Labs?
No, sir.
Does your company use Kaspersky?
I do not believe so.
Could you check and find out?
We will follow up.
How about any of the other two?
Not aware, but we'll follow up with your staff.
Likewise.
Do you all have any doubts about Russians' involvement to interfere in our 2016 president election? Do you have any doubts at all that Russia intervened, interfered, and had a profound outcome, is basically on our outcome to our election? Do you all have any thoughts on that? Do you have any doubts about that?
We have no doubt that there were attempted efforts at interference. It's something we're focused on addressing going forward. In terms of whether it had an effect on the outcome, that's not something we're in a position to judge.
Well, let me ask this. Are you or your CEOs concerned about the threat and damage your companies can do to the U.S. with your far-reaching power? And you have been identified as the major distributors of fake news? Are you concerned about that? Your CEOs, do you talk about the threats to the United States of America where you're domiciled? Or is it basically just a business model that you're worried about?
We're deeply concerned. This is an issue that we talk about constantly. As I said earlier, the first part of this year, we pointed our entire engineering, product, and design team on tackling the issues of information quality, abuse of our systems, and protecting our users.
I join that. It's absolutely a very serious issue. The North Star of Google is to provide accurate, comprehensive, relevant information to people. We don't always get that right, but we have tens of thousands of engineers who are trying to improve our algorithms, improve the rating guidelines we use for individuals, address the problem of breaking news, which is a very challenging one to get right when there's just not a lot of content out there. So we take this very seriously.
Well, you all would agree then, I guess, with the legislation that's been introduced by different members and bipartisan members of this committee and other committees that you all should be regulated and overseen the same as we do other news medias? Anybody have, Mr. Stretch, you have any idea on comment? Are you all going to fight back on that, lobby against it, or are you going to basically support the legislation that's going to be needed to make sure that the American people are getting the facts and not fake news?
Senator, we stand ready to work with the committee on legislation. Any particular pieces of legislation, we're certainly happy to talk about.
You've seen the legislation that we put out there. You all three are lawyers. I'm sure you're watching it very closely. You know, the legislation that we have. Do you agree with the exemption? Would you support a change in a law that treats all political advertising on the internet the same as print and broadcast ads to require identification of sponsors and basically the legislation we're putting forth?
very supportive of the direction of the Honest Ads Act and have had really productive
So
conversations.
you all will be
around it.
speaking in support of these pieces of legislation.
Yeah, we have some fine tuning that we'd love to talk about, but we, as you saw, put out our own transparency center that very much aligns with the information that the Honest Ads Act was asking us to provide to you.
According to an Oxford University study released in October, Russian trolls are now targeting American military personnel and veterans on Twitter and Facebook. Allegedly, these trolls are pushing fake news and injecting them into veterans groups and to active duty personnel. In fact, one fake Facebook page was highlighted in a Stars and Stripes article from October the 18th. The page was called Vietnam Vets of America, and it had attracted a follower network of nearly 200,000. The real veterans organization, Veterans of America, Vietnam Veterans of America, call it an imposter page, and another example of how military and veterans are being targeted with this information. A week after the original article was reported on October 18th, Facebook reportedly took down the site, ostensibly for violating intellectual property of the Real Veterans Service Organization. So I would ask Facebook and Twitter, in this story, is the story accurate? Did you all know about this? And are you seeing our military and our veterans being targeted? And how come it took so long to take it down?
Senator, we're intensely proud of the use of Facebook by our military. You
We're not
asked,
talking about,
Right.
we're talking about the people
And
who
we're-
are targeting them.
yes, and we are very focused on making sure that it remains an authentic experience for them. We receive many reports of inauthentic behavior. We try to act on them quickly. We're trying to improve our tools to detect it even before it's reported to us. I'm not familiar with the particular page you've
Stars and
described.
Stripes?
Yes, but
I hope you'll check into that.
I will certainly check into it, Senator.
Let me just say this as my time's wrapping up. You can see that all of us are very much, this is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is an American issue that we're concerned about, the security of our nation. We're getting hit from every way you possibly can imagine. And you all are the largest, one of the largest distributors of news. And there can be no doubt that it has to be authentic and true. You cannot allow what's going on against the United States of America. You are in the front lines with us. And we're doing everything we can to support our military, our veterans, all the people who put their lives on the lines. And what you're doing by allowing this fake stuff to come across, this misleading, this damaging information, is really threatening the security and the safety of our, and really the sovereignty of our nation. I would hope that your CEOs, and I agree with Senator King, I wish that your CEOs would be here. They need to answer for this. It can't be a business model. It's got to be a security issue. Thank you.